frozen penis.
Oof.
Yeah.
This is a legit article.
Yep.
Tragic.
This is the kind of premium content that I bring you people.
That's why I also choose Fox as my primary source of news in this country. The superior news venue.
Right. Fox
News. One of our sponsors for tonight's episode 3, our other one, Heineken. Heineken, the official beer of UEFA Champions League. All right, so starting off tonight, I think this is a great place to start.
Yeah.
All right, Skylar, you wanna lead us in with our opening topic this evening?
So, Fox Sports here, just only the most premium of premium content here on Fox.
I read this on the Fox News channel, actually, .com, so even more official.
We can all feel a little bit for this finished skier. I thought the most interesting part of this story, though, this guy had it happen a year ago. Hold on, where was it? 1 year ago, he had the same thing happen.
He's frozen his penis twice.
Right. And instead of just
wear a sock or something.
Right. Instead of being like, you know what, I'm gonna take steps to solve this problem and make sure it doesn't happen in the future, which you would think like.
Did they say anywhere he was upset about it or this was a bad thing? Have you ever frozen your penis? Who knows? Maybe it was really fucking awesome experience.
No.
And he's intentionally replicated that. It was unintentional. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right here. Unbearable pain.
Which I guess it's probably like you know how like when your arm falls asleep or something if you're laying on your leg, it's probably 100%. Like that, right? Like what's happening in your extremities and in his case his penis is the blood supply when you get cold and can't regulate your temperature very well. Your internal organs like your liver and your heart and your lungs say I want blood. Your kidneys especially I want blood. So they say fuck your extremities like your hands and your feet and your penis, and they go there. So those extremities aren't getting as much blood flow. So when you're out of the cold and warming up and that blood flow suddenly returns to all those vessels, it can cause like a lot of neuropathic like tingling and stuff like that. That's why that happens.
Yeah. I have a tangentially related story.
Okay.
You guys remember the turkey trot in Appleton?
Yeah, they'd run that was it Thanksgiving morning, right? It was like a little like 5K or something.
I ran it with Dustin O'Connell.
Dustin.
When I was a sophomore year in college, so 2013. I ran the 5 miles, and then I was wearing my Marine.
It's a 5K. You went about 3 miles. So.
No, it's a 5 mile. It's a 5 mile one.
5 miles.
It's 5 miles. There's a 5K and a 5 mile run.
It's really not a trot then at that point. It's more
of
a.
It's not a trot. We were sprinting all the time because Dustin was running at his pace, and I was just trying to keep up.
Yeah.
But at the very end of it, when I took off my shorts, I looked at the top of my penis, and I had whittled away a lot of the skin around my urethra, and so
you chafed.
I chafed.
Did you not see the Office episode for the GoFundMe Fund for the Cure for Rabies where Andy's nipples chafe? Did you learn nothing?
I never watched The Office, but here's the funny thing.
You know what? Allie hasn't either. It's good. It's worth it.
I had never chafed there before or since, but I remember I tried my.
I chafed the matured.
I didn't drink any water at all that day on Thanksgiving because I didn't want to pee because I was afraid of how bad the sensation would be.
Yeah.
And then I peed and it hurt a lot. So I was like, well, I'm going to drink the rest of the day. And then whenever I pee, it won't be so bad. And so that's how
Did you pre carbo load with fettuccine Alfredo beforehand?
I don't remember what I ate. I think we probably did. It was a typical thing before runs. Dustin and the whole cross country team would just carb load.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it doesn't make sense to carb load the day before. The benefit comes from doing it 2 days before. But then
you have to do it long enough to actually get the fucking glycogen in your liver and muscles.
Yeah. So
gluconeogenesis takes time.
We used to carb load for volleyball. I really wonder why, but we did. I mean, we worked hard, but like on the day of competition.
I forgot you and Skylar both played volleyball, right?
Oh, it was a ton of fun. I still do sometimes.
Volleyball is fun. I like beach volleyball better because I feel like I can put myself out there more. I'm not a fan of like, I'm too pussy to dive on a gym floor. Unless I have like pads, you know? Yeah.
I still have the scar.
I remember Tad Radsack never wanting to like hit the deck, and Weiss, the coach, would just like, he'd get so pissed. Like someone would like stick their foot out to like try and kick it. He'd just be like, dive, hit the ground.
Just wear pads. Like, just wear pads, right? Like, people wear knee pads, right? I mean,
it's not actually that bad too. Plus, like, okay, in a game, you know, I guess you'd actually want to like dive, but like in practice. So this goes back, like, Michael, you can relate to this. You're in the military too. Like, you know, in the military, they call it like a smoke session, right? It's like you're getting, you know, someone's just coming at you and they're like, you know, do 10
with a hookah. They're like, smoke this.
Right. No, it's like, you know, they're making you do a bunch of like physical exercises, and you kind of have to like half-ass it a little bit, right? Like, you got to be like, oh no.
Oh yeah, you're not doing perfect form.
Right, like you have to like cheat the form, and you just have to look like you're in pain, right? Like that's how you get by. Like, okay, so same thing with this issue here, right? Coach Weiss always wanted somebody to hit the deck if a ball was going to drop, right? But it didn't necessarily have to be like the most hardcore slam into the ground ever, right? Like, just kind of got to like, you know, just follow like, you know, you got to make it look somewhat good, but like, you know. Yeah, I remember that. That was a fun time.
We used to, when I was in wrestling, we our coach would always want us to do a takedown, and then the person who got took down had to like execute a perfect stand up. But you know, we would do the same thing, like the same takedown like for 20 minutes before we would do something else. Yeah, really exhausting. So you'd really start to see people half-ass the technique, or like take super long breaks when they were, you know, waiting for the next takedown. They would just like play with each other's head, take forever to get up on their feet, that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're not gonna go full speed the entire time.
Okay, so I do want to hear about this Howard issue though, because so I have not read up on this, but some
Howard?
people, yeah, people
Howard,
are talking about this.
He's the Michigan basketball coach. Living in Ann Arbor currently. I think it's hilarious because it happened against the Badgers. Go ahead, Scott.
He ordered someone to like punch someone else on the.
Let's watch it. Are we gonna get sued if we put this on? Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Totally worth it. We got an attorney in the group.
Yeah, that's fine. It's probably fair use as long as we're going over it. Juwan Howard bitch slap. Okay.
Bitch slap.
It's pretty much what it was.
Okay. While you're bringing that up, I will say the flip side to what you're talking about. You're talking about giving a certain amount of effort in practice, and I think this is a very valid point. Volleyball, if you remember, I don't think Skylar, you were starting school at that point, but like my senior year, I was 2-3 games into the season, and in practice, I'm going hard. I'm just leaving it all out there. That was my thing.
Are you talking about practice?
In practice, yeah. And in practice,
okay, we're talking
end up spraining and chipping my ankle, right?
I remember that.
And I look back on it because I had moments like that.
And that was in practice.
Too. Yeah,
you're talking about practice.
And well, yeah. And then what did that do? That boiled over into at least 2 tournaments.
Yeah. And
3 regular season games. I was out.
You pick up a mid-season injury in just about any sport, it's not great, right? Like,
yeah, and it's 100%. The more I look at it, it's you're trying real hard. You're going to give it, your best effort, but at a certain point, you do have to kind of remember, like, don't go so hard you're going to get a mid-season injury.
Because you'd be playing in the PMVA probably right now if that hadn't happened, right? The Professional Men's Volleyball Association.
Probably not.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but I mean,
let's get the video here. No.
Yeah, let's.
Okay. Okay, Juwan Howard. Let's go. Sorry. He is right here. Did you see that?
Wow.
Wait, no.
Let's see if they re-slow it.
I did not get a good look at that.
Whoa.
I'll slow it down.
Guys, come on.
This is yeah. Slow this here, way down. Okay, so he goes in. Who is that? The other coach?
That was a big meaty hand.
It's not a punch. It's like the lady. It's like
his hand and just wiped it on his face. That's what he did.
It wasn't really a slap either, though. It was just this kind of.
It was like an abrupt. It was a smack.
It was a kamehameha. Look at him, kamehameha, right there.
Just think like when you go to
what's the backstory on this here?
Store and you buy a stock of bananas. Imagine that being placed in your face.
Yeah. So first off, I think it's most similar to like if Kieran 1 is fighting over the last like peach Bellini candle with Kieran 2 at Bath and Body Works, and one of the characters just bitch slaps the other one. That's like what it makes me think of. But the Wisconsin and Michigan played each other in basketball yesterday. Yeah, yesterday afternoon. At Wisconsin. Wisconsin's doing pretty well this year. For those of you that have been following, they're ranked like 15th right now, but they're like 21-5, I think, after the game yesterday. So actually having a decent year. Johnny Davis is very good. And Michigan this year, I think they were good last year when they did well in the tournament, but this year they're not doing great. They're like closer to 500. And their coach, I think, is a former NBA player. And I think he's new either last year or this year. He hasn't been around super long, I don't believe. But he's gotten flack before for not being experienced. They're like, they just hired you because you're an NBA coach, like you don't have coaching experience. It's just because you were a player before, whatever. And he tends to be a little hot-headed. Wisconsin was beating Michigan by about like 15 points or so with like 20 seconds left, and like had all their reserve players in, like giving them time basically off the bench. And they ended up calling a timeout because of like an inbounding rule or a possession change or steal or something, where there's like a time thing if you can reset the clock if you take a timeout. So he did that to like reset. He has his bench players in, like Michigan's still full court pressing at this point, and the coach got really pissed. Michigan's coach got really pissed that Wisconsin called a timeout with 15 seconds left when they were up by like 15 and the game was over. But at the same time, Michigan was like still fucking pressing. So it's like, I don't know, kind of a double standard. But anyway, he got mad about that. So he initially didn't get in the line to shake hands, as like people do after those games. You know, they walk by and shake hands with each other. And then he finally did get in the line. And is it Greg Gard? Is that the Wisconsin coach?
Yeah.
He basically kind of like touched him on the elbow as they were walking by, because he like didn't shake his hand. Juwan Howard kind of didn't want to shake his hand, was going to keep walking. So the Wisconsin coach kind of like touched his arm, so like initiated contact and was basically like, hey, and like they started kind of talking and it got a little heated, and then they backed away, and then a couple of the like Wisconsin assistant coaches and Michigan assistant coaches come up, and that's when they get into that scuffle. And then one of those Wisconsin assistant coaches must have said something, because that's who Juwan Howard actually ends up whacking in the face, is one of the assistants. So
I think that's Joe Kravinoff.
You over a timeout,
right? It's like, it's like, I don't. It's so dumb. It wasn't unreasonable to do, and it's just a stupid thing to get. It's like you guys are pressing and playing that hard. Like they can take a timeout and reset the clock.
Here's the thing. Howard said they asked him about it. They're like, why are you full court pressing? He says, we're not actually full court pressing. We're playing our 5-man defense.
They were. Did you see him at like the 2 point? There's like 2 seconds left where the game's over, and they're like still pressing the inbound on their
because he said, well, our 5-man defense is a man-to-man defense that's the entire length of the court. And I'm like, okay.
Cool. That's just another way of just like
pretty close to. I mean,
layering. He's just layering it. He's putting on a mask to full court press. Like there's just another way of saying it.
And I mean, there's differences in how you want to execute, a full court press. Like, if you're doing a man-to-man full court press, where you're trying to trap a player, I don't know what he was trying to say with that, but more or less.
We're on ESPN here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying it to me.
Nothing to me.
But it's an unwritten. It is kind of, I will say, kind of an unwritten rule on 2 angles. First off, if the game was over, you shouldn't be full court, and you're still full court pressing. Sure, you should. There should be an amount of, hey, we're not going to give up on this game. But when you have 30 seconds left in it and it's 15 points, you're not going. There's just not enough possessions. 15 points. You need 6.
No, it is not feasible to win that game.
Not. I mean,
so I feel like you can't get too upset when they call a timeout when you're still doing that, like with when the game's over.
Yeah. But I mean, too, the timeout. I mean, I can remember too. We had a player. I remember this was even youth basketball, and coach was mad because the player and the parents thought it was fine. It was towards the end of the game. We were already up by a lead, and it was the last possession. And he kind of just dribbled a little bit, and then pulled up at the three and smacked the three with like 5 seconds left, right? And everyone's like, "Yeah, good job." They'd already won the game. Coach was real mad, and I mean, I didn't understand it at first. I'm like, oh, cool, game's over. But he's like, dude, we already won. This isn't about padding stats. This isn't about, rubbing it in. He's like, just dribble it out and be done with the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that mentality because I was sitting in a waiting room a couple of months ago, and I remember seeing this ESPN thing come up. And they were talking about this baseball player. He was like, he just got called up from the majors. And they were saying, his team and his coach in particular got mad at him because he hit like a grand slam when his team was already like 8 runs up against the opponent. And it's like, it's an unwritten rule of baseball where you just don't, you don't
do that.
You don't do that. And I was like,
yeah.
What? Are you out of your mind? You're here to win. Like, you don't let the other team get a little closer to make the game more fun for the fans. Like, let's not forget what we're doing here. We're here to win the game. I mean, not that I care, but like,
what are you supposed to do?
That it's very strange that somebody would say, "Well, this is an unwritten rule." Then make it a written rule. Otherwise, just
I do think though it's a little bit distinguishable in the sense that like baseball is a discrete game. Like there's no clock in baseball, right? Like there's a discrete number of throws that there will be, and once there's a certain number of strikeouts, we're done with the game. Like the game is over. I think one of the things with basketball where like there is this running clock. I mean, just think about like the practicality of having like an unwritten rule here that like we kind of don't go super hard at the very end, right? Like, imagine if like a player, and it could have been on either team, right, got injured over this stupid little, like we're gonna go.
One guy gets like thrown to the floor at the end. Actually, let me show you again. I didn't go that far.
Look, I mean, the point still stands. Either make it a real rule or don't complain about it. That's my opinion on it. I think.
Well, and as the coach of a team, you need to be the guy that's working with younger men as the mentor too. And I think everyone's been there at a point where coach is like, dude, let it go. It's enough. I get it. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, you got a bad call. Yeah, you got whatever. But if you're the guy that's instigating physical violence outside of the scrimmage, and I mean, I did see he's on a 5-game suspension. And if I was Michigan, Michigan should seriously be reevaluating, his future, coming up with a good plan for how this is what they're going to do to make meaningful change in it, because it's unacceptable in competition after the scrimmage,
Yeah. You got the coaches got to be better than that. I mean, it's one thing as a coach to get like angry and argue with a ref or something, but to actually like physically throw a slap is.
Well, what's he trying to prove there too? He's got a foot on Greg Gard and 100 pounds.
Can I just say, Allie and I, when this happened yesterday, we were watching the end of this, and we're like, you can tell he wanted to cut away for a commercial, but then they're like, "Whoa, Juwan Howard!" And the music keeps playing as this is breaking out. That was the best part. Just like, playing like the happy post-game sports music.
Oh God!
Did you see that guy get like slammed down though?
No.
Watch around here. Someone gets slammed down on the ground. Right there. He like hits his head.
I love that you like analyze this.
Watch right here. You see that?
There's too much going on.
I feel like True Detective right now. Ready? We're gonna spot this. I saw this on when it was live too. There's a guy right around here who just gets yeeted to the ground and smacks his head.
Oh, yep.
Is it a badger or a?
No, it's like one of the like Michigan assistants or something.
Wow, okay.
He nails his head on the ground and like someone goes on to like punch him. It's So like he might have actually gotten hurt from that. I don't think any of the players did though.
Yeah,
but pretty crazy.
I saw there were two single game suspensions for athletes on Michigan, one single game suspension for Greg Gard.
Yeah, then Juwan Howard's out the rest of the season, it sounds like.
They're actually a little lucky.
I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan just fires him too. They've really been cracking down with their leadership. There was like a new person elected for Michigan Medicine CEO, I think, or to that position, and then like the university president too lost his job over that scandal. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
I did not.
No, you can look it up, but there's a. I can just bring it up actually. While I am bringing that up, Monkey Shoulder or Lagavulin 16 for our second sponsor tonight.
Monkey Shoulder.
Monkey Shoulder. That would be
It's more accessible to our fans.
Yeah, I agree. I did try the Lagavulin though, Michael. It's. I had it with Allie's dad over Christmas. Very smoky.
I love
very
it.
smoky.
It's medicinal.
All right. Let's see.
medicinal.
We're going to look at this is we got some good content this episode. I feel like
This is good
variety. Let me introduce you to Mark Schlissel. He is, let's read his Wikipedia page. He, I say is, but was the university president of University of Michigan since July 14th, so not new. And the woman before him was Mary Coleman. I heard she just like didn't. I heard she was like gave zero fucks. She's actually the interim president right now because of him being fired. Let me focus in on this stuff. He had planned to step down as president in 2023, but was removed by the University of Michigan Board of Regents on January 15th, 2022, so last month, due to involvement in an inappropriate relationship with a university employee. He's the only University of Michigan president to have had a successful motion of no confidence passed against him by the faculty senate. I can't imagine this happens very often. This was a big deal around the university.
Do we know what the relationship was?
Oh, dude, this is premium content. You can't make this up. We got in an email.
That thumbnail of him was disgusting.
In an email from the university, they chose to publicly disclose all of the emails he had with this other employee. No. So there is like 100+ emails that anyone can look at that has the entirety of this. There are so many memes that came out of this. It's so funny.
Wait, but who's he having the relationship with, right?
This is one of the emails. Can you see this? So we'll scroll through some of them, but he signed it Lonely M, and then I had his auto signature.
Nice. That's yeah.
Who does MD PhD? You're the president of the university. Goddammit, just sign your damn name and say university.
Right. Okay, let's. You guys can still see my screen here.
Well, you know what, Mike? The funny part to me isn't that he said MD PhD, because more power to him. But in the context,
a lot of people do that, researchers and stuff.
Well, but in the context of that email, though, it is kind of funny, right? It's just like lonely.
All right, you guys.
The whole title.
You ready for this?
I'm not ready.
Sexual fantasies for everyday New Yorkers. Oh wow.
You ready? We're gonna go in order. We're gonna go one by one.
I don't understand. Who is he having an affair with here? Or sending these
is this a professor?
You're gonna find out. I actually don't remember. I didn't read through all of them, so this is actually gonna be a first for me too.
This is gonna be great.
You just let me know when we want to stop, but this is some good content.
There's 115 pages worth of this? Oh my god.
We don't have to do it all. You just let me know.
I like how it's just individual one. There's
individual one. Ha! This is a reply to article you couldn't download. So
he asked someone to download this for him?
This is 2019.
Just for fun.
Mark wrote just for fun. No punctuation, no capitals. Best. Mark. Almost as if it's like an atypical haiku type poem. And then he uses his formal signature after already signing Mark. So it reads Mark.
Wow.
And then, yes, we see this with Sexual Fantasies of Everyday New Yorker, which I think we see here on page 2 by Mark Cagnata.
Oh, my God. Tell me we have the full article here.
Let's see.
This is probably 100 of those pages.
Let's see.
This article.
How long is it? It's not that long. I'll read it. Fuck it.
No.
I picture it like this. I'm strolling through Brooklyn on a summer afternoon. The streets are filled with people. And this is Williamsburg, so they're all beautiful. Suddenly the sky opens up. Everyone gets drenched. Wet clothes cling to toned bodies. Skin glistens. Here's the best part. Because no one came prepared with rain gear, I'm able to walk down a whole city block without getting once smacked in the face by an umbrella. That's a quote from Casey East Williamsburg.
Yeah.
So shall we hear another? One? Do you guys want to read one?
As a bearded barista pours my coffee.
I'm just sorry, Skylar. Just give me 1 second. So I'm just gonna pour a glass of Monkey Shoulder, our second sponsor of today. It's the original blended malt Scotch whiskey. You can get it for about $29.99 for $7.50 at your local Meyer. Go ahead, Skylar.
User code Danyvin Corp.
I appreciate that.
For 10% off.
I too have this fantasy, but it's you pouring the Scotch, Patrick. So as a bearded Patrick pours my whiskey, he discreetly reaches below the counter. My eyes don't help but follow his hand down, until to my delight, he pulls out his big bulging carton.
I gotta
published in the New York.
Finish it.
How did this make it in the New Yorker's an actual real magazine? Okay, hold on, I gotta finish it. As I was hiding this from the other customers, he tells me with a wink that you can have as much as you want. I hope I can have as much whiskey as I want, Patrick.
And that was brought to you by Garth Clinton.
Garth.
Michael, would you like to do the next one for us?
This needs to be said.
Yeah, let me move my. I find a lunch in Midtown that costs less than $10. Yes, I cry out. Oh God, yes.
Oh God!
He hands me a surprisingly substantial sandwich.
This is actually gold, you guys.
And I want to say the first thing I thought when I read that was literally nothing sexual. I was 100% thinking the best corned beef hash Reuben. That's what I thought. That sounds
like, okay, you guys, when you come visit in a couple months, Zingerman's Delicassant. We are going to go there. The most substantial sandwiches you will ever have.
Do they have a Reuben?
I love Reubens.
They have like 7 different kinds of Reubens.
Have you heard of Arby's? They sell Reubens.
Yeah, I have.
They're good.
No, you guys will love this place. They also have massive pickles where once you get past like how girthy and small they are, they taste really good.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say it's the pickle sizing is usually what.
So these are all their corned beef sandwiches. They have some pastrami sandwiches too. Look at that. Do they have a Reuben, Nelson?
Oh my.
Yeah. They got a Reuben.
Let's see. That is a substantial sandwich.
Yeah, that's substantial. So you can get a normal or a medium.
What, $20 Reuben?
It's an expensive place. This is not like
how many pounds of corned beef am I getting?
So I'm not going to cry.
It's probably half a pound at least.
Like you're getting $20 worth.
I will not cry out, "Oh God, yes," when I get it, but I'll probably enjoy it.
It's substantial.
It's on dry.
So we can see what our viewers think. I'm gonna ask you guys right now, and you can let me know. Should we make this the Schlissel segment every week where we cover a little bit of this content? I don't want to go through the whole thing tonight, but I think I want to get through it all.
Yeah,
I do. I agree with you, Pat. Although I want to say here, I want to keep going to the next email or two because
we're gonna keep going. I just wanted to see if you guys were on board.
Actually,
sounds like Nelson and Skylar are. So Michael, looks like your opinion is irrelevant because I also want to do it.
Yeah, let me run and grab some water quick and
this is a democracy
for like a hot second.
And then we can
for a hot second. I need to do this.
I'm gonna wait for you, Nelson. Here. As so we can finish this particular email. My 2 hottest yoga classmates and I hit up a new neighborhood bar after class. Who goes to bar right after. That's an interesting.
Do we think this is a? Do we think this is? Oh, I peeked ahead and looked. I was gonna say, do we think this is like a woman speaking about two friends, like two dudes that she's in? Like, you know? Okay. So.
Everybody can read it. It's not like we're hiding it from the viewers.
Yeah.
For weeks, I've been secretly gawking at them as they contort their.
I should scroll. Thanks, Michael. Good. Sorry. There you go.
Okay, this one's actually a little more sexual than the last couple sandwich ones here. Dogs and standing splits. Now I finally have my chance with not one but both of them. We find a dim booth in the back. Okay, just like, okay. I scroll down a little bit here. I just want to make an observation here and see if this is true, Pat. Let's keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, with perhaps the exception of the very last one on this page, it looks like these are all women writing.
Yeah, based on the names. I don't know, Jay and Mason.
Yeah.
And Garth, don't forget Garth.
Garth, yeah.
Garth.
Even Casey. I know some guys named Casey.
It's ambiguous.
It's
Mark. Is it ironic that the author's name's Mark?
I'm just trying to understand what a male university president is doing reading this. Like, this is like some like ROM.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if you've never worked like in a one of those office jobs, like, what do? You open up Internet Explorer and MSN comes up.
Sexuals, fantasies on the New Yorker.
MSN comes up and they have like all these highlight articles, and you just kind of scroll through them and open the ones you want to read.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, in this day and age, though, with everything being logged, you know,
this is not what I do at my office job. I'll tell you that.